Welcome to the fourth segment of Bernama Today, Fabian Narcis, and with my very special guest today, Anirudh Gupta, all the way from Hong Kong. Yeah, he's the CEO of Safari Kid Asia. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. And with all this, yeah, we all know, even the women, family and community development also said that children are the future of Malaysia, and a lot of parents are actually spending quite a bit of money sending kids to school these days. Some of them paying up to 1,000, 1,500 to 2,000 ringgit a month just for kids' education. But coming from the person that's educating kids, right, Safari Kid Asia. The first outlet is open in Malaysia. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the background first of your company.
Sure.
What do you do? What your strengths are? And then we'll move on to your business plan.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Safari Kid is we have 25 schools globally.
Okay.
The chain started in California, in Silicon Valley.
Okay.
8 years ago.
All right.
We are present at the moment in the USA, in Canada, in Hong Kong, in India, and now in Malaysia and Kuala Lumpur.
Right. And in KL, where's your new outlet?
It's in Bangsar.
Bangsar.
Yeah.
Bangsar shop. Is it in
it's just behind Bangsar Village.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a shop lot kind of thing that.
No, it's a house.
It's a house.
Yeah, it's a house on 10,000 square feet of land. It's got a swimming pool. It's actually a very beautiful.
It's more like a bungalow,
it's a
so
bungalow,
to say,
basically,
to give an all-round experience in learning. Now, let's talk a little bit about the syllabus over here, right? Of course, we all know that there are many childcare centers already in Malaysia. What are the syllabus that you guys are teaching? Are they the same from from California?
Yes, that's right. So basically, our program focuses on our homegrown syllabus for languages and mathematics, and we take best practices from the Montessori system, the Waldorf-Steiner system for things like building imagination and creativity.
Right. Would science come in?
Yes, it does.
One part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. A lot of you see, maybe when at the ages of three. When did you start? 3?
So no, actually we start at 18 months.
18 months?
Yes.
Okay. That's new.
So we started 18 months. That's our toddlers program.
Right.
And then our main programs start at 2.5.
2.5.
Yes.
About 3 years old.
Yeah.
But my point is this: do you give them more practical stuff, or do you give them more theoretical stuff?
Both. Essentially, at that age, children learn by playing and by things that they find fun to do. And what we do is we teach them things like science through project-based activities. So they can learn, how rain is formed by doing a small project in class.
Right, and the teachers that you actually hire and teach them, do they go through a special training?
Yes,
and all that? Yeah.
So we have a 2-week training program in California, followed by another 2 weeks in Hong Kong for our teacher training. Our teachers are a mix of native English speakers from all over the world, as well as local teachers. Local teachers
as well. Okay, when you, what's the criteria of actually getting into, what part of your teaching base, what part of your teachers? Because end of the day, we have a lot of teachers here. Strong command of English, of course, is it's a must these days. To be also passing the language down to kids. But your requirement, what do you guys look for? In
we look for qualified teachers and experienced teachers, and most important thing is they need to like working with young kids. That's important, and the rest of it we work on them through our training program.
Right. So the first place is in Bangsar. Are we looking at expansion already?
It depends on how it goes. So we are expecting good pickup, and if that happens, then yes, we are looking at expansion.
Since the 10,000 square feet, how many kids can it house? I mean,
we are looking at between 60 and 80 kids.
60 and 80 kids, and this is at per session or 2 sessions kind of thing?
Per session.
Per session, right? It's a whole 8 hours, 9 hours kind of session?
No, it's basically there's a half-day session which is standard for this kind of age group, which is 4 hours. There's also an extended day which goes on till about 2:45 p.m. So that's about 7 hours, and then there's a full day program for parents who want to leave their kids for the whole day.
And so far, what are the demographics here already? I mean, the kids that actually enroll.
Well, we have our open houses on April 25th, 26th, and 27th. So we haven't started yet.
Oh, okay.
So we will be starting taking enrollments on April 25th.
Okay.
And for the summer camp as well as for the first term starting September.
Right. How do you see yourself different from your competitors?
Well, our program is very unique.
Okay.
It's heavily based on a lot of research on early childhood development that's happened in the last 15 years, which is all new.
Okay.
Most other programs are based on philosophies that have existed for 50, 60 years, and
Alright.
they're good,
Okay.
but they don't do everything that is possible now.
Right.
We also have a significant integration of technology
Okay.
and science in our programs at a very young age.
Sorry, when you say technology and science, maybe you can go in a little deeper.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we have a technology module inbuilt in our program,
Okay.
where kids starting at the age of 3.5, 4 start learning things like interactivity, game design, even some coding.
Game design.
Yeah, like just the basic stuff, so that
Right.
they understand how it works.
Right.
Right, so that they become very proficient with technology
Right.
at a very young age, and that's really a foundation for as they grow older. So it really develops the analytical abilities, the reasoning abilities, the things that you need to actually start doing this kind of
I'm
thing.
sorry to ask, since it started in the Silicon Valley, does that have an influence in
Yes,
this?
of course it does.
Okay, and this is because the founder is the person that actually integrates this into...
No, actually no. It's basically, Silicon Valley is an environment where
Right.
a lot of new things are happening.
Okay.
So, and the parents there actually started demanding this kind of thing because they saw what the kids were doing at home.
Okay.
And they said, well, they should be learning this at school.
Right.
So then the programs were developed accordingly.
So when you say that when it comes here, it could be a first step to be more IT people around.
Not IT. It's not really about IT. It's more about becoming creatively adept at solving complex problems. That's really what technology is about.
Okay.
It's not really about IT.
Okay,
per se.
and this is together with a mixture of, like, those outbound camps, those boot camps,
Yeah,
and
I mean, yeah, we
stuff
have
like
all
that.
that
Yeah,
stuff. Of course, we'll have field trips
yes,
and all
yes.
of that stuff.
And because it's amazing, what I learned in school. I mean, during when I was young, and compared to what kids have this particular
Yes.
day, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Now, maybe we can go into some pricing factors,
Sure.
as it affects all of us, not only here but also globally, right?
Yeah,
Let's talk about your, toddlers program. You said about 18 months.
Yep.
Half day. How much would that, set parents back?
That's the half-day toddlers program is about 1,500 ringgit per month.
Okay.
The half-day level 1 to 4, which is like 3 years and up kind of thing, that's 1,800 ringgit per month.
Okay.
And the extended day that goes on till 245 is 2,300 ringgit per month.
And this is like, you have food, you have basic nutritional stuff for them and all that.
At the moment, we are not. We advise parents on the nutrition stuff. Kids have a lot of allergies, so
Exactly, yeah.
so we encourage parents to send food with the kids based on certain rules.
Right.
Like no nuts, no
Right.
things that are allergic to everyone.
And you don't have like somebody there to prepare stuff for you, like a caterer or somebody like that.
We can organize caterers if the parents ask.
Right.
That can be done. Yeah,
that can be done, lah.
yeah.
Because the reason why I ask is because sometimes guys like Jamie Oliver goes out there and say we should be teaching kids how to eat real food instead of burgers, fries, and all those kind of things, right? I'm just wondering, since you're starting.
No, I mean
them,
we give parents advice on what food to prepare.
Okay.
What really works for kids and what doesn't work for kids, and we hope parents stick to that. I mean.
Right. In choosing, I mean, from your experience being the CEO, right? I'm sure you have vast experience in advising parents to choose what's best for their kids. Maybe you can, give us a guideline of how to choose the best preschool that's around.
No, I think there are a few things. I mean, as you mentioned in the beginning, it's expensive.
Yes.
Right. So, parents should really look at, are they getting value for the money that they're paying?
Right.
Right. And by that I mean, does the school focus on the all-round development of the child? Is it just a glorified daycare center, or are the kids actually learning something? That's very important.
Right.
The second thing that's really important is what is the communication between the parent and the school, right? So here what we do is, at the beginning of every term, we set developmental goals for the child with the parent. So you as a parent, what do you want to achieve?
Right.
And what we think is achievable. And then we work towards that.
Right.
Right. And that's set at the beginning of the term. and we communicate very frequently with parents throughout the term. And there's an extensive evaluation process at the end of the term. There's no pressure on the kids, but it's more for the teachers and for the parents to see where the kid is going.
Right.
Also, we recognize that each kid has their own learning curve.
Right.
Right. So our classes are not based on age. When a kid is finishes one level, then they just move to the next level.
Right.
Some kids are slow, some kids are fast.
Faster.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Our curriculum is customized to each child. So we have our own booklet system. I think we're the only preschool that has our own books.
All right.
Which are developed in California.
Okay.
And the kids use that to go from one level to the other.
Okay. Just wondering, right? Because it's coming from US, and a lot of syllabus actually comes from US. Does it adopt a lot of Western culture in it?
No. The cultural aspects are all localized. So we started in Hong Kong, for example, in January, and the core curriculum comes from the US, but then everything else is developed locally.
Right.
So things like festivals and embedding those into the learning environment and different cultures, language. So our Mandarin program is developed in Hong Kong. And we'll be running that in KL as well.
Are you looking at Malay language?
And we're looking at Bahasa as well.
Bahasa as well?
Yes.
And this is developed with our education ministry, or?
It'll be approved by the ministry because we have to give them all the curriculum set.
Exactly.
So we develop it, they approve it.
Okay, but not together with them, like,
No.
as a team, you sit down together with the ministry?
No.
No, not like that.
So basically what we've done in the Mandarin program, for example, is, which we'll be running here as well, is that from the age of 2.5, it's not just spoken Chinese or Mandarin. Kids will be learning how to read and write as well. Right from that age.
Right. Anirudh, maybe just before we go, you can share with us your website where we can get more information about Safari Kid Asia.
Yeah, it's safarikid.com.my. Parents can log on to the website. It has all the details for the school in Malaysia.
Right. And what's your when you talk about preschool, what's the ending age? Is it 5 years old?
6.
6 years old, before they just start.
Before primary 1.
Before primary 1.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for coming here.
Thank you, Fabi.
Thank you for giving us an insight, not only about Safari Kid, but also how to, basically sometimes being new parents, we don't know where to go, how to do, what to do, and this kind of things. Preschool, I think, is very important. That's where children start their education, whether you learn English, whether you learn Malay, or mathematics, science, for example. This is the place where they start, and that's why Anirudh is over here to give us some heads up. Thank you very much for watching Tuesday's edition of Bernama Today. Stay tuned as we have more Malay news up next right here on Bernama TV.